This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with a Renaissance woman, the one and only Adinda. She is a model, a digital creator, a visual artist. Adinda, it is so nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is a pleasure. And also, this is what I love about FENIX360, connecting artists all over the world already. I'm in New York, you're in Germany. Adinda, I want to know first and foremost, in terms of the visual art, when did you realize that you had this love of the medium of visual art?
I think it started at a young age. I mean, even before the internet, I was already making PowerPoints in elementary school. So it was always something in the back of my head that I kind of wanted. It took me a while to realize that I could actually make it a career. But yeah, so it started at a young age.
I love it, Adinda. And in addition to that, you're obviously using technology in your favor, making it as also obviously a digital creator. Have you found that during the pandemic, you were kind of able to fine tune those tools in your arsenal as a digital creator?
I think at the beginning of the pandemic, it was a bit more motivating because you had the time and you had kind of the resources and everything was a bit, yeah, out in the open. But I think there was some dips, obviously, especially with creativity. It's a bit hard to just sit in a room and create things, especially with the pandemic. It's a bit hard. There's no traveling. You don't really meet a lot of people. And I think that's where inspiration usually comes from, the whole process of just living. So that was a bit hard, but I also think those dips are necessary to create like the art that for the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also what I love so much is that you were able to actually take on modeling as, I mean, not even a side hustle. You've been making your living as a model. Have you always wanted to be a model, or was it something that you just kind of fell into with the pandemic? Tell me about it.
So I kind of fell into it at like 16. Someone asked if I would be interested into it. It was never really in the back of my mind, but I really enjoyed being actually behind the camera as well. So being in front of it was quite nice to see like the dynamics of the whole process. And during the pandemic, I think because people were outsourcing different ways, alternatives to make art, it was easier for like visual photo shoots, virtual photo shoots. And yeah, I met a lot of people actually during the pandemic, which is a bit weird to say, but it's quite cool.
Hey, this is using technology, for good. And this is, again, what I love so much about this app, FENIX360, that you're coming on board with, because you're going to be able to connect with artists all over the world. And Adinda, I just want to ask you final question. If you could give advice to any artists out there who may be having some trouble, getting those creative juices flowing, what advice would you give to them?
I think just trust the process and enjoy the process, even when there's nothing going on. If your head's just blank, I think that is also necessary. So just trust it and don't freak out too much, because I know it's quite hard, but you'll look at it back later and you'll say, hey, actually, that's necessary.
Absolutely. Well, I love that advice. I definitely agree. Speaking with artists all over the world, if there's anything that everyone is saying right now, is that they've all kind of leaned into the stillness, leaning into the quiet. And from that will eventually come those creations if we're just a little bit more, not only patient with our art, but patient with ourselves.
No, exactly. Totally agree.
Adinda, it is so nice to meet you. And I'm so grateful that we are now connected.
Thank you.